Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today we're going to look at a bunch of reels that I got. We're going to classify them as junk or parts reels. I got a call from Captain out on Long Island, Captain Patrick. He's a great supporter of the channel, and also, well, I fixed the reels on his boat. And he said he was doing some garage cleaning, and, well, he found some reels in there that, well, they simply won't use them again. They're not working. Would I like them? Of course. So they're always good for parts. They're always good to see if we can give a second chance. I'm going to share them with you and, well, talk about any that might make it to video. So if you like these types of videos, if you like the art of fishing reel service and repair, if you like to learn more about fishing reels, then I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you to all the 28,000 plus that have just subscribed. We just reached that milestone. And wow, I'm very thankful for that. It's the subscribers that make the channel. So thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, again, please consider that. And, well, you'll see what videos are coming up if you hit that notification button. Well, let's get started then. Patrick initially called me and said he had 4 reels, 4 Shimanos. And these would be the 4, except that there are 5. And I can see why he would say they'd never go fishing again. Well, I got a batch of these earlier from Patrick, and the issue on them mostly was that you don't have any line guide mechanism. You have the worm gears, and you have the shields, but you do not have the line guides. Why is that? Well, he was looking at replacing the reels that he was using on his boat quite some time ago, and he really didn't have many alternatives. He was using the Penn 65s, the Long Beach series, the 60, 65, as well as the 85s. And those things have been discontinued now for over 20 years. He was trying to find a good alternative for his fishing in the Long Island area. And he went to these, but he found out quickly that the customers either beat up the line guides or tangle them up or do whatever. And he thought it would be better for them to just remove the line guide and allow them to fish them as conventional reels. Well, in doing so, well, they gave him a good amount of service. You can see there's a lot of them on here that are just kind of salted up, have the film and the dirt and the like, which is not unusual for the boats themselves. But what also happened was they just didn't prove as dependable and as reliable as he would have liked them to be. So he switched over to Penn Jig Masters, and well, we've been trying to find ways to use reels like this. This one actually has a line guide in it. Maybe that one can be restored, but most of them don't have the line guide in them. Some have the remnants of the line guides in them. And quite honestly, if you go to look at the cost of the line guide and some of the other parts in this reel, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to go and redo those. So I got 5 of these that are repairable, but whether they will be repaired or not, I don't know. But at any rate, he called me up and said he had these. Would I be interested? And of course, I'm interested in them for parts, trying to give other reels a second chance. So we did that. What surprised me, though, is he sent more of these in. All kinds of reels here. Let's take a look at those. So we have another one. This is the 100. Again, the line guide is gone on that. Here's your 100G, and here's the wider version of that. The TR is Triton. The G is graphite. The one is a narrower frame. The 200 is a little bit wider frame. Very, very dependable reels. But of course, when you do charter boat fishing, these are the types of things that happen. We've lost the adjuster cap on this side. I don't know if the handles, which aren't here, have broken off, or if it's been a case where the handle nuts like this one have been corroded to the point where it can't be used, or the handle caps have broken off. You never quite know the stories, and those of you that watch my channel always like to think if reels could talk, and I'd like to think that too. Well, this is an interesting one. This one is a Penn Pier. It's the number 9, and this is the one that lines up with the Penn 209 and 309. It's just the lesser version of them. And interestingly enough, Blake from Chicago sent me in a group of modern Penn 9s that are made in China, and I got to advise against buying any of those. The 2 of the 4 that he sent in had bridge issues, where the bridges, that's the the shaft that comes out here and connects the handle, well, they were moving side to side. They were just, well, they were worn out well ahead of the time that it should have been. These are U.S. made. The Burgundies are, I believe, the late 70s, early 80s. This one still kind of sort of works. There's no reason in all these can't be cleaned up and restored. Here's probably the issue here. This is an easy enough fix, but the line guide itself is out of the track. Not a big deal. You can see the track is internal there. Just simply remove this, and I'm going to restore this one. That one should do well. Well, here's his latest complaint, though. He moved over to the Penn Jig Masters. Unfortunately, those are made in China, and here's what happens. This is not atypical of one of those Penn Jig Masters. We have a frozen reel, and look at the condition of this. It's almost brand new. The side plates are hardly scratched or scraped up at all, and the line looks fresh. The reel is clean. The reel doesn't work. If you come inside here, you can see it's not a matter of the spool or trap line. That's a frozen bridge shaft, and that happens more times than I care to admit. What I mentioned on the Penn 9 for the modern day, if you look at the Penn 9 bridge, it's almost a purple metal. It's certainly not marine brass or the chromed plated bridges that the old U.S. made Jig Master used. It's some kind of alloy, and in this case they're not using a stainless post, they're using something other than that, and the bridge sleeve freezes to that post. So that's the bridge sleeve base. The bridge sleeve comes all the way out, and that sleeve that goes over that, well, freezes, and this is what you get. So there's a way to do it, and I will try to do it. I may have to replace the bridge, I'm not sure. This one I didn't see. I think well, okay, so this one's got a grind. So again, go figure. It's got a gear grind in it, and by the looks of it, particularly as you look at some of these reels that have been used on this boat in the past, we showed you this jewelry chain here, but if you look at that, you're not seeing anything like that in this reel, and yet you have a breakdown of the gears, and that's just something that I certainly can't endorse, and I can tell you he's probably made the right decision in staying away from it. So again, here's a look at the inside of it. It's been greased. The grease is there, but the grind is also there, which tells you that one of those two gears that they put in are not as stout as they used to be. Well, and finally, here's one that was left on deck, and I'm going to do a little bit more research on this one. It's called a seahorse, and I'm not sure what that is all about. It looks like penguin, maybe. I got a GUI and possibly a piece from the N, Model 80. And don't have a cap here. This says needs the end bearing and a spring and a clutch spring, so it can't be a very dependable reel. It very much looks like a Penn 60 Long Beach. It does have a, well, some kind of a shiny cover. I don't want to say that it's a stainless. I don't know that. It's running. You can hear the click, and there's also going to hear a wobble because that bearing shield is there. But we might do a video on this one just to take it apart and see what it is. If that's a rosewood handle, that helps date the reel. Rosewood has been prohibited from being used in this capacity now for over 20 years, 25 years, so the reel is an older reel. I don't know enough about that, so I'm going to have to do some work on the Seahorse to identify that, see if we can find a bearing for that, and maybe give it a second chance. My guess is that those bearings are going to be hard to find. We won't, and well, it'll just be an exploratory project, what I call a tuition reel, to see if we can learn a little bit more about how that reel was made. Well, to sum it all up here, we've got some projects. I can make this one work. I can make the Triton 200G work with the line guide. I've got a bunch of parts reels. We'll figure out how to get one of these out of the two, because the bridge sleeve isn't frozen on the one, it's frozen on the other, but the gears are making noise on the one but not the other. We can swap those points and at least get one of those reels working again, and we'll do our best to to see that. Speaking of doing our best, thanks and shout out to our first responders, our police, fire, rescue, EMT workers, and the like. All are appreciated. Everything you do in terms of dedicated to dedication to public safety and support, I thank you for it. Well, lots of projects here. One man's trash, maybe another man's treasure, not sure. But we are going to work on these and try and get as many of these done as we can. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, again, please subscribe if you haven't, and please use that notification button. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.